Good evening and welcome to the headlines from the Bangkok Post. We summarize today's most popular stories on the bangkokpost.com website for your convenience. And these are the 3 hottest stories on Friday, April 29, 2022. The hottest story today is Thailand's recovery lags on COVID rule changes. Thailand, one of the world's tourism destinations before the pandemic, was among the first nations in Asia to reopen its borders to vaccinated visitors last year with limited quarantine norms, and the country was hailed at the time as a model for reopening. But as regional peers have eased entry requirements, Thailand has clung to a cumbersome process. Tourism professionals say Thailand's complicated entry rules are now holding back recovery in an industry that contributed 12% of GDP before the pandemic. Forward bookings for 2022 show Thailand reaching 25% of pre-pandemic levels, behind 72% of Singapore and 65% of the Philippines. The second most popular story is Thailand Pass stays, but in faster form. Thai government opts not to rush lifting all entry curbs. They said the requirement will be retained, but the procedure will be streamlined for smoother ease of entry into the country. From May 1st, the Test and Go entry scheme will be cancelled, without any need for bookings for alternative quarantine hotels and RT-PCR tests, which will facilitate faster Thailand Pass registration, and vaccination certificates take less time to check than bookings. Therefore, Thailand Pass registration has remained in place, and there should be no problems for May 1st. But the Center for COVID-19 Situation Administration will monitor the situation regularly. If the situation improves, a further easing of entry rules is expected to follow. And the third most popular story is sex abuse survivors no longer silent. Recent claims of sexual misconduct made against high-profile politician Brin have motivated some who have been subjected to similar acts to speak out. But victims continue to face uphill battle to seek justice as stigma persists in the society. Sex crimes, domestic violence, and child-related crimes are very sensitive. These cases need to be handled with care, as some questions may be too harsh and hurt their feelings or bring shame on them. The questioning process by the police should be attended by an expert who will help screen questions or provide a comfortable atmosphere for those who have been abused. One of the sex abuse victims said, "Sex crime offenders, they are the one who instead must be shamed and punished." And that's the 3 top stories of today. Thanks for following the headlines. You can keep up with all the latest headlines and in-depth coverage of news, business, sports, and lifestyle 24 hours a day on bangkokpost.com website. This is John Komsan Chantamit from Bangkok Post Online team. Have a good evening and see you again next week. สวัสดีครับ